Okay, so this second video in the series is going to show you how to add and manage content within a course. In the first video, we looked at how to access your ultra converted courses and your blank courses for next semester, plus how to do basic setup of the course to make it your own. So from my Seneca, if you click on the courses link on the left, you'll see your current courses for this semester. In my case, it is winter 2023. If I click up here, I can now see the ultra converted courses. Now these are courses that you've taught recently, probably in the last 2 or 3 semesters, that have been fully converted over. And then if you go up here to upcoming courses, these would be your summer 2023 courses. Now going forward, what will happen is that each new semester, you will have new semester courses. And then your old semester courses that you will copy over. So these technically should be blank, okay? So these are my upcoming courses. There should be nothing in it. However, let me show you what Seneca has put in it. Let's go to this one. I haven't touched it. And you'll see some elements that are put in. Now you can manage some of these, you can move them around, you can organize them, but let me just show you what you have. So for example, this here, this little rectangle, the gray, is called a module. And if you click on it, it takes you directly to a link to an external site. And that's fine. You can choose to keep it or you can choose to delete it, right? Or what I'm going to do is just drop it to the bottom. And the way you drop it to the bottom is just grab onto it and order it, okay? Now, student resources, same thing. If you click on it, it'll take you to some student resources. That's for the benefit of the students. I wouldn't touch that. That comes from head office. Let's move that down for students to use. And if you remember in the old version of Blackboard, these used to appear on the left-hand menu, right? Now, instructions for creating course information details, that's fine. That's what these tutorials are going to help you with. You can go through them. These are by Learning and Development. They're quite good. What I'm going to do is delete it because I have our tutorial. So let me delete this content. I don't want it right now. And if you delete it and you want it, you can always go to another course to access it. Now over here in course information details, this is where quite a bit of material is. So let's click. So again, this is a module, this gray box. And within the module, there's all sorts of different content. So there is a new land acknowledgement that Seneca has put in there, and I highly recommend you keep that at the top of your course so that students can see it and honor it. And also we've got a section for faculty information for the actual course itself, like the subject outline system, and something to do with course orientation. So you can add and delete to this as well, and I'll show you later how to put additional faculty information. Okay, so I'm going to X this out. And you notice that I'm team teaching this course with another instructor, so both names will appear here. If you have 3 instructors, all 3 will appear. So make sure from the first video you do set up, if you choose your course image, at least one announcement, and eventually you'll make the course not private. And also set up a course schedule with all of your course meeting times, and then go and put in your milestone assessments or due dates, etc. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is show you how to add content in this section. Okay, but before I do that, let me show you what happens to a converted course. So this is what Seneca has done, taken your content from the traditional course and put it into a shell. Let's see what happens if I go over here. So you can see that there's quite a bit of information already put in. So course information here won't have your land acknowledgement. That's only in the new shell. So going forward, when you build up your course, each semester, that shell now can be copied over, so your job is that much easier. But I do have course information, standard areas like academic honesty, evaluation, and I have a weekly schedule that I'll put in, my outline, etc. Right? So you can move any of these items up and down if you wish. I'm going to leave mine at the top. Faculty information, that would be you. So for example, let's start with this. I have faculty information, and you notice that, again, I'll repeat, is the gray box is called a module. And within a module, you can have content. You can have folders, and the folders can have one additional folder, and then various pieces of content into it. And I'm going to show you what that content is. It's quite simple, actually. But if I have faculty information here, I'll click on it, and it opens up in a new box, right? In a new screen. And this is just something that I put in a photo of me, not sure where it came from. and just I put it in a table. So let me close this, because if you had that in your old course, it will come back in your new course as well as a copy, right? So you'll see it twice at some point. So course documents are just things from my old course, my weekly sessions. The way I like to lay out my course is just have course information at the top. Faculty information will actually be in course information. So let me show you how to do that, okay? I'm going to take, say I just opened it up. I'm going to take this faculty information document and just drag it inside here, probably at the top, okay? So I'll put it there. I don't want students to see 50 boxes like this. So now you notice that under faculty information, there's nothing. So I can click here and I could delete it. Okay? So there we go, nice and tight and clean. And then I have various areas that I use for my course that are given down here, and that's okay, right? So a lot of different things. Now, let's go back to course information, and let's say that you had more than one faculty member, right? And you want to add a second one. There's two things you can do. You can click over here and edit, and within here you would edit right here, and you would just copy and paste this into a second instance. Or what you can do is leave this, click plus down here, and create content. So when you create content, you're going to do add content, and you'll just see a box like this, so you can insert pictures, etc. Okay, I'll show that how to insert pictures, etc. later on. So you have different choices of how you can lay out your content. So now, just for interest's sake, let's go. I'm going to go out of here, and I want to go to my other course. Now, let's say that I fully built up a converted course, like I cleaned it up, I made it my own, because you will have to keep an eye open for especially links to websites, double check them. Sometimes when you convert them over, they don't come across, some images, etc. Clean it up, okay? Now, when you're done, I have a separate video for how to copy this course, so that you can import it into your blank course for the summer in this case. And it's quite simple, that if you actually go into the course, either open course or just click, you can click on these three dots at the top. You want to export course package, and then in your blank course you want to import the course package. Okay, now I do have two separate videos for that, so please go have a look at those videos. I'm going to close this, go to my upcoming courses, and I'll just quickly go to this one here, okay? Now, like I said, this one has nothing in it right now. If I did import it in, it'll look something like this. It has a lot of content in it, right? So all my course information is at the top. I am going to put in a course banner like I did before. And if I go to weekly sessions, see, I lay out all my content on a weekly basis. So I curate content on a weekly basis so that our learner, the student, can find it exactly where it belongs. Now, you can duplicate content. That's not a problem. But this is just something that I like. And you can control which weeks you open or close on a given basis. That's completely up to you, and it depends on learning styles and your pedagogical approach to how to deliver your course. So let's have a look. I want to add, just for interest's sake, let's say weekly sessions was not there. What I can do is I can add the main module above or below. I click the plus sign, and I can create over here a learning module. So that's the main top level box. You don't want too many of those, right? You want to keep it nice and streamlined for the students. So let's add a learning module. And I'm going to call it, so first thing you want to change is the title, and I will call this week, just change the title up a bit, week by week, just say week by week, okay? Now I will release it to the students. I'm in the habit of just releasing it, because when I build something, I know it's good to go, but you can always leave it closed, right? Now, does this deserve a description? No. I think week by week module, people are going to click on it, they're going to kind of know what it is. So generally we don't put descriptions in here. So I'll click save, and this is what I get. I get a thing called week by week. Now I can move this up and down, right? Just drag up and down. Now inside here, there's nothing. If I click on it, see, there's nothing. I can add things inside here. And by the way, to change this title, three dots, edit, and you can delete. So play around with it. Feel free to delete things. You won't damage it, okay? I will tell you though, if you had content in there and you deleted it, there's no undo. So be careful, okay? Now I'm going to add inside this module, think of it as a master folder. I'm going to add something. What is that something? Well, it could take the form of, well, a content market, and that's something from a publisher. Okay, you can get something from a publisher, an LTI. It could be a Zoom session. It could be all sorts of different things I'll show you later. You can add content directly from the cloud. So if you had like a Dropbox or what do you call that, in Office 360 files and so on, you can upload directly from your computer. Or if content already existed in your course, that's called content collection. All of those files that you've put in throughout the years is all in content collection. And if you had a picture or a video or a PDF, for example, Excel file, you can do it directly from content collection, okay? And you can copy content from somewhere else. So if you had content in another course and you'd like to bring it over here, you can easily go to copy content. You'll see all of your different courses here. And what I'd like to do is go to this course, go to weekly sessions, week 3, and I have HRIS, or here, let's go to Excel resources, and I have this thing here, practice. If I check and then start copy down here, I won't do it right now, but if I did, that particular set of content, all of it, will actually appear in this course here, which is pretty cool, right? If you're going to manage multiple sections of a course, it's actually much better than what we used to do in the past. But let me get back to the main area. If I click here and I click create, that's where you'll most likely go, okay? So I created the big master module or master folder, create, and you have choices now. I can create a folder. So a folder is simply an area where you can put multiple documents or links or tools, okay? Now, you can't have too many folders. I believe you can have a folder and then one folder within it, or set of folders. You can't go 3 deep. And in fact, you don't want to go too deep in. Students get lost in that. It's hard to keep track of. So try to limit it to 1 folder or 2 folders maximum. So if I did create a folder, this is what it looks like. Okay, so a title for the folder, and we will call this introduction, okay, to the course. Done. I'm going to make it available. Again, that's up to you. I like to do it. No description required. I think people will know when they click in. And all it did is created a folder. So have a look. That's my main module. Students will learn to click. You see a folder. Now I can have another folder below that, and I'll just quickly add one more just to show you how simple it is. And this is a great opportunity for you to revision and redesign the course so it's more in line with relevance, currency. Your learners now have changed. The way you approached your content has changed. Organize it nicely, right? Provide some level of scaffolding or framework. So I will call this what is AI, right? So my next main topic is what is AI. I'll release it to the students, no problem. And I've got 2 folders. There's nothing in it. So now let's go to this folder, this one here, right? I'll click on it. And inside that folder, I can add content. So all of this is going to go inside here, right? So let's click the plus sign, create, and look, your folder thing disappears, right? So I can put in a document, which is exactly what it is. It's just a box that pops up. You put in your text, okay? I can put a link to a website, anything from my publisher. Don't worry about SCORM package. And later we will talk about how to insert a test or assignment. Okay, test could mean quiz or anything like that. And then also a discussion board item. See? So let's do a document first. I click. And it's asking you in this document what's the title. So we will call this what is this course about? Oops. Yeah, there's no spell check on here, so be careful, okay? And I will make it available. Now, inside this document could add content, which means start creating from scratch. I could add HTML, hypertext markup, if I knew HTML, and that's fine. If you don't, that's okay. What I'll do is I'll create a separate tutorial to see how you can go on the internet, find some really cool HTML script, copy and paste it without knowing how to code HTML, okay? There's some really cool stuff out there. I'll do a separate video on that. You can upload content directly from the computer, like a file, what have you, or your cloud, or your content. So it's same thing. But let's add just simple content. There we go. That's all it is, okay? So this section will introduce you to the course, etc., 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 etc. Done. So you can copy paste, you can type, you can make this box bigger, smaller, font size, colors, bold, italics, underline. There's some math notations here. And you can also add code snippets, and that's, like I said, the HTML code snippets. We'll talk about that later. It's a little bit more advanced. Get excited, but not too excited, okay? I'll do a separate video. I can now present my information in a table. Now, I'm a big fan of this because sometimes if you have images and you want the words to the right to keep things nice and tight and consistent, you might want to add a table. They're not that forgiving, so make sure you know exactly how many rows and columns you want to begin with, else you'll have to delete it, right? So we'll look at that later. These are your alignment, right? Left, right, center. This just shows you, like, if you wanted lists or something, undos here. Clear any formatting that you had. Now, I could put a link right inside here, so I could highlight this word, click on the link button, hyperlink, and I could put in a URL, copy paste it if you want. www. I don't know, just put in Seneca.ca, just whatever that is. Done. See, that becomes a link. Now, what else can I do? I can add an attachment. So as I'm introducing words and I want my students to be able to download a document, so let's have a look. Now, I happen to have a document called MUX. And let's see what happens. Okay, that's going to be the name of the file, MUX. I'll just get rid of the 2 here. The name of the file that the people see and the actual file name could be 2 different things. So I want people to view it and be able to download it, or just see it, or maybe just download it. I don't know. Let's see what it looks like if I say view and download. There we go. That's what it looks like. Now, alternately, you can always just have words here, add a new document section down here with your document and a picture below. You'll get used to what looks best. I like to keep things nice, tight, and clean all in one box. Okay? Now, one more element. Let's say within here you wanted to add some sort of rich media, right? Either full-on math notations. That's pretty cool if you're a math person, right? We've got image we can add, media, YouTube video, which is the best way to do it right here. Stuff from your cloud, your content collection. Now, here's the thing. If you put image here, what happens is you actually have to have an address for where that image is. You don't just insert it, okay? And if that's what you want to do, put it out on your Office 360 drive. I forget what it's called, but on Office 360, there's a place to put everything, right? What I like to do, though, is this. Best way to do it is click plus. I'll go to my content collection, and this will look familiar to you. These are all the files from my course. Now, if the file is not there, I can upload it, right? And it will be there forever. So let's just upload a file that I happen to have on my computer. Let's just see here. What do we have? BB Ultra. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put this this picture here, okay? Click open. And you want a link title, possibly. Few things here. I don't think you really need to worry about any of these things here. And click submit. So look what happens. It just presents it as an uploaded file, check mark it, and submit it down here. And it will come across as a file. Now, this is important, and we'll talk more about this in the fine-tuning video, the very last video, is please take the chance to put appropriate alternate text. So we will say this is the BB Ultra help, I don't know, let's see, help logo. I'm not sure it needed to be capitalized, and I only want people to view it. No need to download it. And it appears like that. Now, can you size images over here? I don't know. Let's take a look. I click on it. I edit the attachment. You'll see. You can. Okay? Now, by the way, you can also check this if you don't want to put alternate text, but please try to put alternate text. It really helps people with visual difficulties. If you wanted the image bigger, smaller, or any other way, you have to edit it first somewhere else, right? So let's submit or save, and let's see what it looks like. There's my first bit of content. But let me just close this, and let me show you what we built. In its simplicity, that's what it is. We have a main module or master folder. In it, a folder, introduction to the course, and this is what is this course about. Now I'm going to add one more element below here. Okay, so I'll plus, create, and this time I want to add a link to something to do with the course. Okay, I'll click the link, simple, make it available. The URL is http, again, better just to copy paste, www.thiscourse.net, whatever, I just made that up. I don't think we need a description just here. Although in some cases, if you're curating a set of videos that students should go into, but you'd like to tell them what it's about, then you might want to put some sort of a description, something like this. Link will provide great resources, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so let's click save. And best way, just look at what it looks like. It looks like this. Oh, I forgot to change the title. Yes. So now, that's okay. Go back, edit, and the title's here. It gets a bit confusing because sometimes the title's on the left, sometimes it's on the right. And like me, I always forget. So I'll click the pencil, and I'll say it's called Course Resources. There, that's good enough. Okay, so click save, and there we go. I'll do one more. I'll click plus. So I'm building out my content. I'm going to create, and this time I would like to, and I'm just going to take a look at teaching tools with connection, and let's see what I have. I don't have any publisher stuff, but if you did, I think your publisher will give you some sort of a site. And I would like to open any external resources in a new window. Okay, I think that's pretty cool. And this is cool too, is that around this content, do you want to allow students to have conversations? Now, if the publisher, if this is a quiz that they gave you that you're putting in, you can also create a gradebook entry for it and a due date, etc. Okay, now, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to cancel. I'll do one more. Plus sign, create. But this time, what I want to do is, because it's the first folder, the first topic, I do want to open up a discussion item for the students. Now, you know what discussions are. Many of you use them, some of you don't, and that's fine. I think it's just a great way that everybody can get students just discussing offline on an asynchronous sort of matter. So you should always build in some discussions somewhere in your course. Doesn't mean you have to facilitate them, but the students would appreciate a place to put their voice, right? So we'll call this one, just change the title, comments about the course. It's something interesting. I'll make it available. And I could now just start, this is the main, okay, so I'm starting the thread. A thread is like a post, okay, think about it. And then students can reply to that thread, and other people can reply to a thread. Now I'm going to say, put your questions and comments about the course here. Okay. Now, if you are doing discussion items that are graded, meaning that you're going to review them and you are going to grade them, you want to make it easy for you to go and do that. Okay, so you go over here and you say discussion is graded or it isn't graded. So I'm going to click on it and take a look. It is going to be graded. And I'm going to say, I'm going to allow editing or prevent editing, meaning once they post, they can't change it. And I want to have a grade item in my grade book around this discussion. So important to check that. When is the due date? And what's the category for the grades? That will show up in the actual grade book. And you want to grade using points or letter or percentage. That's okay. And I'll assign this, let's say, 5 marks. You can have as many marks as you want total, right? And then we can talk about these things in a separate video. So the next video is about grading assessments and grade book. But this will set it up for me nicely. Very easy to mark. And there we go. Okay, you can manage these later if you like. So let's save this. And it becomes a really cool discussion item. Quite simple, very nice. Okay, now let's close it and see what it looks like. Good. Now I would probably capitalize my title to keep it consistent. I can change it. And students will very quickly get used to these icons: folder, document, link, and discussion. Now here's a cool thing. Your discussions will also appear here in the discussions area, right? That's pretty cool. So in terms of content and adding content, that's pretty much about it. Are there any fancy things you can do? Yeah, of course. When I teach you more about maybe tables, and I'll just show you one right now. If you want to lay out your content differently in a table, just create a document, right? We'll do add content. I won't change the title. And if you put in like a 2-column, 1-row table, I can put an image on one side. And let's go back to my content collection. I'll put this image in this time. Check, submit, and I'll leave the alternate text just for now. And over here, you can put words. Okay, so words, etc., 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 right? That's pretty cool. And you can always add columns. You can delete columns by using these buttons. You can move columns up and down. You can change the size of the font. I believe that was here, font size. There we go. And that makes sure that your content is aligned left to right all the time. I use this quite often. Can you copy and paste a table that you did in Excel or Word? Probably. You can just try it, copy and paste it, no problem. Okay, let's have a look. All right, I'm building it up. Close that once you're done. You see how simple it is? Open it. You know what? I don't like this new document. I'm going to get rid of it. Delete it. Done. So as you go through your converted material, keep in mind that images and links to YouTube videos might not come across properly, so double check those properly. And then also make sure that that your images are set the way you want them. Maybe if the image has disappeared, you might want to replace it. And please put the alternate text for images. All right, I love using images or icons. It plants the idea in your learner's head more readily, I suppose. So let's try one more thing. Let's go into what is AI. And remember, that's a folder. And I want to put content inside it. I want to try to put a YouTube video. So I will do create. I will then create a document. And I will add content. Now, I'm going to do the plus sign over here. It says insert content, YouTube video. And I really like this. It's really cool. And I'm going to search for a video called What is AI? And of course, you want to vet and you want to double check all of your different content that you do put in. Now I'm just going to highlight and copy this link just in case if I need it later. I'm going to click select. And it puts it in like this. And it gives it some alternate text. It's not a huge description. However, it's enough for somebody to, first of all, give recognition to the publisher, but also give some information about what the video is. And I'd like to allow the user to see it as an external website versus within the same browser so that your course is open in one place and this site will open up somewhere else. And that's okay, right? So I'm going to click insert. And that's what you get. It's a link. Now, what I like to do, though, is right below the link or even above it, I would like to write a description for the learner, the student, about what it is they're going to see. Now, let me show you what this looks like. I didn't change the title, by the way, okay? I just change it right now. What is AI video? Okay, done. So now, let's X this, and your content will look something like this, okay? So let's make it available. What is AI? Student will click on it and they will get a link. Now, what if you didn't want to put the link, however, you actually wanted to put the actual video? So then what I might do, I can leave this here, that's not a problem. I might click the plus sign and I'll add HTML. Now just stay there for a second. I'm actually going to open up the video in YouTube, and every YouTube video has a share button. You click it, go to embed, and that's an HTML snippet, right? That's code. That's an iframe code. Just click copy. You don't have to know the code. I'm going to copy and paste that code right there, okay? There we go. That's what the code looks like. I'm going to save it, and it opens up like that. So let's X this, oops, and let's see what happens. See? Same thing, except when I click what is AI video, it'll actually show up like this so the student can look at it directly. And again, don't forget to put the description. So in the next video, we are going to look at adding in assessments, quizzes, assignments, tests, what have you, polls, and also gradebook. And we have a final video on how to fine tune all of this content. But for now, I think you have enough to establish some sort of flow, and also add some pretty interesting content. Now, don't forget, there's some mini videos showing you other things as well. Please have a look at those.